8 months ago, I reached out to Patrick Hughes. Patrick has been doing different events and doing the POW chair. Kept thinking, man, we should do something at the dealership. And I see a video from Patrick out in California, and he's doing the dedication at the Harley dealer out there. I approached Brian and Dan McCarthy and said, what do you think about the dealership doing something? And first thing is, let's get it done. One thing about this dealership, they're always there for your veterans, always out for the first responders. Whatever you guys need, they're there for you. Can't thank them guys enough. Today, we have a special guest, Ralph Galati. Ralph was a prisoner of war during Vietnam. Ralph attended the United States Air Force Flight Academy, flight training in 1970, received his wings in 1971. Weapons Systems Officer, F-4 Phantom aircraft, and assigned to the Ubin Royal, the air base in Thailand in the fall of 1971. Ralph qualified as a laser-guided bomb lead and was soon elevated to the role as forward air commander. On February 16th, 1972, his pilot was shot down over North Vietnam. He was immediately captured and taken to Hanoi. Spent 14 months as a prisoner of war. Ralph was released on March 28th, 1973. Please, everybody, give a hand for Ralph Galati.
Thanks to Brian and everybody, all the Harley groups. It means a great deal to us that people have not forgotten. I am really one of the lucky ones. I mean, I was captured, but I am home. There's still over 80,000 families from World War I and beyond whose sons and daughters are still missing. So this chair is representative of that. Sorry. So I have a few words that I use pretty commonly at events like this. Patrick Hughes, who was just mentioned, has placed over 100 of these chairs at different places around the country. Harley dealers, schools, stadiums, colleges and universities. And the mission is pretty simple. The mission is a tribute to our military, but also a remembrance for those who are not yet home. So thanks for you guys for never forgetting and for you to offer the space here. For anybody that's on active duty or guard or reserves, thanks for your service. For family members, thank you for your sacrifice. Any Vietnam veterans here today? Welcome home. Any Marines here today?
Yes, indeed.
I got to say this up front. I'll be careful not to use any large words today. How about Navy? Any Navy guys here? Okay. And for you folks, I will speak very slowly. It's all downhill from here. A couple of facts. The POW MIA flag that you see here today was created in 1971. And it was formally adopted in 1972. It's modeled after a missing in action husband who was lost in combat in Vietnam. But the POW issue didn't start then, obviously. It really went back to World War II with movies like Stalag 17 and The Great Escape, and TV shows and movies like MASH. Tens of thousands of our men were held captive throughout Europe and Asia, many of those who have yet to return. But the Vietnam War, because of television and the press, became more visually apparent to everybody on a daily basis. And it wasn't until later in the 20th century that you were able to identify a deceased soldier, because the dog tag program really didn't start right away. So it was difficult to do that until the war was over. But the Vietnam War brought all that to very visible for all of us in our living rooms every day. You might know that on the third Friday in September is National POW MIA Recognition Day, and I believe the end of March 29th is now National Vietnam Veterans Memorial Day. So places across the country, military installations, even ships at sea recognize that. And now, it used to be 6 times throughout the year that the POW flag was to be flown with the American flag, and legislation just passed a few weeks ago where now every day of the year, and certainly at government installations, you will see the POW MIA flag being flown right next to the American flag. There's an organization you may know about in the Department of Defense called the POW MIA Accounting Agency, and they are missioned to try to find and locate, and we have fullest possible accounting of all of our missing. When Patrick started with his chair program, I think the number was 96,000, if I remember, missing in the 20th century. That number now, although still too high, is a little over 80,000. So if you follow them on Facebook or social media, you'll find 1 or 2 remains being discovered and accounted for every day. So there's still more than 80,000 that remain missing, and from the Vietnam War, but the number went from 2,600 to now about 1,500. So they're still working hard to find our missing soldiers.
Same to you.
This chair represents the 81,000 missing in action. One day they'll all be coming home. I can't thank you enough. And thank every veteran that's out there, what you guys have served, and what you've done for our country.
Okay. You can put it back there.
Thank you, gentlemen. The unoccupied seat is dedicated in memory of those brave men and women who sacrificed each year serving their country. God bless America. This is dedicated today to Brian's Harley-Davidson on February 22nd, 2020. I'm going to ask Lee Cannon, United States Army, Vietnam veteran, George D'Elia, United States Marines, 1-9, and missing dead. Thank you, guys.
Bigger stroke. Bigger glasses.